My fiance asked to get closure from her ex 2 days before our wedding. She said it was in the spirit of honesty and that she could have gone behind my back, but wanted to start our marriage with full transparency. 2 days before we say I do, she's asking for permission to get closure from a past relationship. Is that maturity or a massive red flag? Because now I'm stuck wondering if she still needs closure. Is she really ready to marry me?
She's not. Massive red flag. Because why wasn't your closure met when you agreed to marry this man? Like, you're going into a full marriage with another man and you don't have closure from your previous relationship. Honesty doesn't mean, what does it mean for someone to be honest? Like, good for you, like 2 points for that, but that doesn't mean that's right.
But she was honest before the fact. She shared that she wanted to get closure. So it's not like she did it and would be like, oh, I did such and such.
And I respect
That's not the point.
Okay.
That's not the point, because it's like, she could be honest, but that doesn't mean what you're doing is okay. It's not okay, because I can be honest and say, hey, I somebody yesterday. Just because I'm honest about it, that doesn't mean what I did.
So what's the closure? What's closure? Closure is basically saying, I just want to officially make sure what we both done with each other.
I don't know.
I just want to make sure.
Red flag. If she didn't have closure, she shouldn't have even been in another relationship, let alone getting married. There wouldn't have been a marriage. It's over as soon as possible. That means that she went through the whole relationship and engagement without moving on. She did him a favor. Let her go and cancel the wedding. This is one of those cases that are simple to solve, as it provides all the information needed to facilitate the decision. If she still needs to meet her ex before their wedding, it means that she is not fully ready to move on. This is the behavior of someone who is still attached to their ex, so it makes no sense to go ahead with this marriage. No one who left their past behind would feel the need to meet their previous boyfriend before getting married, and this is something he must take into consideration. She wouldn't want to get any closure if he wasn't still part of her life. Therefore, he needs to move on. He needs to find someone who is in the right mindset when it comes to what they want, instead of someone who is still chained to their past. Red flag all over the damn place. May this love absolutely never find me. Growing up is realizing there's no such thing as closure. There are red flags on both sides. Over time, simps have shown there are no limits to how far they're willing to go to be liked. It's getting out of hand. The fact that she wanted closure before getting married is already unbelievable, but spending your time and money to take her to another man's house left me speechless. How can a man drive his future wife to see another man? That's something I will never understand. To each their own, but he went too far. The desire for closure alone should have been enough for him to let her go about her life. But instead, he had no problem with it and even facilitated the meeting.
For you, what's the perfect height on a guy? Yeah.
I like anything between 6'3" and 6'6".
Ooh, okay, you like the tall guys.
I don't like it too, like over 6'6" is too much.
Yeah, I guess.
And then under 6'3", it's like you're gonna be shorter than my ex.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
You don't with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want you to look up to him.
Yeah.
That'd be embarrassing. Yeah.
All right, what about you?
For me, I mean, I'm short, so I'm not like super picky, but probably like 6'2".
6'2", okay. Good height.
There's a lot to unpack from this video. The first girl is looking for a new boyfriend, and she wants to make sure he isn't shorter than her ex. In a way, he set the bar, and now, if she dates someone shorter, she'll feel like she's settling, which will likely lead to dissatisfaction on her part. What she said confirms one of the main issues many of us in this community have already discussed, which is the fact that when a girl spends time with a guy of a certain caliber, she often starts to believe that he represents her new standard, making it harder for her to move forward. This same mindset is often applied to finances and other attributes. In most cases, it leads to a lot of disappointment, because their new standard often isn't realistic.
All right, what about you?
For me, I mean, I'm short, so I'm not like super picky, but probably like 6'2".
That was interesting. She considers herself short and not picky, yet she specifically said she wants a guy who is 6'2". Now, can you imagine if she were actually picky? It seems like she doesn't fully realize what she's saying because she just contradicted herself. Excluding a large percentage of guys simply because they are under 6 feet tall is by definition being picky.
I went out last night with the girls and I've woke up with this. My boyfriend comes back home tomorrow and I wouldn't intentionally cheat on him, but I woke up like this and I'm not sure how it's happened.
We've all made this mistake before.
This wasn't the plan. What am I going to do? How do I get rid of this?
I'm sure he'll understand after all. She was out and has no idea how those marks ended up on her neck. He can't blame her for that, right? Jokes aside, most guys wouldn't want to waste time discussing a situation like this. There's really not much to talk about. It seems everything is already on the table. At that point, the conversation would most likely revolve around whether she needs help packing her things. She had a guy who trusted her enough to let her go out for a girls' night, and this is what happened. Now that trust is broken, and it's one of the fundamental pillars of any relationship. She had a guy who trusted her enough and had no issues with girls' night. Then this happened. Now that trust is broken, and it's one of the fundamental pillars of any relationship.
I had a man who I thought was the one because he would write me little love letters in the morning before work.
Right.
He would do all the sweet stuff. But he was too much of a simp. Where he's like, I would get scared of you. When you get mad, like, I'm not gonna front, I don't really like your attitude. And I'm like, yo, I'm not putting you down like a fucking piece of shit. Like, I'm mad. So I'm like, yo, I talk like this, and I'm from Brooklyn, so I'm a little mad, you know? And he's like, nah, whoa, I don't like that.
She probably doesn't know it, but it doesn't matter whether he was a simp or not. The reality is that most guys would remove themselves from this kind of relationship. What man would willingly stay with a partner who speaks and behaves the way she just described? She seems to believe that if he hadn't been a simp, the relationship would have worked out. But it's not necessarily true. In fact, any man who is not a simp would have walked away the moment they realized who they were dealing with. It wouldn't have lasted long at all. He was referred to as a simp because he wasn't willing to handle a strong woman. But what she fails to see is that he was actually repelled by her attitude. Not even the so-called simp, as she described him, wanted to stay in that relationship. That alone should prompt some serious self-reflection. Unless she's willing to make the necessary changes, the same pattern will repeat itself. It will push guys away.
I'm sorry, y'all gonna hate me for this one, but I'm not submitting to no man that expect me to go 50-50. You want your wife to bear your children, cook, clean, work enough hours to handle big bills, and take care of you? You expecting me to pay big bills, baby? I'm gonna want some bussy when I get off of work. Fuck is you talking about? Bend that ass over. Let that bussy breathe. This what you wanted, right? 50-50, right? And I do mean assume the position when I get off of work. As soon as I get off of work, that ass better be tooted up. As soon as he get up off me, I'm gonna look at him like, my turn? My turn? It's making you uncomfortable, right? Well, can you imagine the way I'm gonna feel when my husband expects me to fort some big bills? When he expects me to pay some big bills, can you imagine the discomfort I'm gonna feel? This punani when you want it, right? So them bills best be getting paid, or you won't be getting it. What? I'm paying these big bills, nigga. Sit back. I'm the shark. I'm the shark around this motherfucker, nigga. Sit back. It's either you wanna yes daddy or bend that ass over. You choose. When you paying all the bills, it's only yes daddy. He said he paid all the bills. I'm like, yes daddy. I'm making this as a PSA to any man that ever thought he had a chance with me or any man that wants a chance with me. If you like 50-50, stay where you're at, baby, because this mouth is only going to get more egregious. I promise you that. I'm paying these big bills and you think I'm not about to be talking to you out the side of my mouth? Watch this. I'm going to cook, clean, and have this punani ready when you want it, okay?
This is one of the main reasons some women are struggling in relationships. And the ironic part is that they don't even know how they ended up in that situation. Based on her video, she believes her femininity and willingness to cooperate with her husband are tied to his finances. As she mentioned, if he expects her to split household expenses, he won't be getting a wife, but a male roommate. That was the most ironic part of the video. Some women treat femininity as something they can put on and take off like a jacket, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You're either feminine or you're not, and that's what many still fail to grasp. It's always interesting to watch videos where women claim their femininity is conditional, based entirely on the size of their partner's bank account. Now imagine how it would sound if men started making similar statements about their masculinity. That would be considered ridiculous. Imagine a man saying he'll only be masculine under certain conditions. It wouldn't be welcome, because they expect their man to embody masculinity at all times, regardless of the circumstances.